Hello.
Sir, on the cell phone, 3165031, will you please identify yourself?
Yes, my name is James Crawford.
All right, you're here for your 8:30, Mr. Crawford?
Yes, sir. I'm here for the 8:30 pre-exam.
All right, I got your file right here, and that's you, Miss Omar?
Yes.
All right,
Yes, Judge.
all right, and this is set for pre-trial conference today. So I'm going to go ahead and call to the record, docket 22-02023. That is Hawa Omar versus James Crawford. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? And ma'am, you are Hawa Omar?
Yes, Judge, I am. I'm Ms. Hawa
All
Omar.
right. And sir, you are James Crawford.
Correct, Your Honor. I'm James Crawford.
All right, this is the time set for a pre-trial in this civil matter in regards to seeing if we can resolve it. I was able to read the file, and there's an indication from Mr. Crawford that he did not install the floors involved, Ms. Omar. Have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Crawford about some of the issues in this case?
I have, Mr. Crawford was, he said that I hired him specifically, and he did not mention that he was hiring somebody else to do the flooring. And so that's all where the miscommunication had came in. When my bathroom floor was not installed correctly, I had called Mr. Crawford to come redo it or fix the problem, the issue where it was, but he never contacted me back. And when he ended up, like, I contacted him like about 5 times before he even contacted me back and said that he was going to go out there and send someone else. But I was not present at the property where he said that somebody was there for like 30 minutes before he was waiting for me. And then they left and never contacted me back.
All right, and this case was initially in small claims and then removed to the general civil trial docket in district court. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right. So have you both had the opportunity to fill out a pre-trial? So you've had the opportunity to speak to one another. That's an understanding. Have you had the opportunity to fill out a pre-trial order for the court to review in regards to discovery and any of those matters? That's available online.
I did not.
Okay.
I did not, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. That's generally some discovery takes place, and then I set it for hearing in this state. You, of course, you're representing yourself, so I mean, I could set it for hearing sometime in the near future and have everybody come in and discuss the matter. Of course, you would bring in any evidence, Mr. Crawford. Yes.
May I add to this real quick before we move on to closing this out? So Miss Hawa didn't hire me as James Crawford. She hired my company, Crawford Painting and Tile, okay, to do the renovations on her duplex. And so I subbed the work out to 2 different flooring installers, okay? She knew she was hiring my company. She wasn't hiring James Crawford. She was hiring Crawford Painting and Tile. And I never did the bathroom floor, which was what was to be repaired. And she's trying to sue me for the full amount of the duplex renovations.
All right. Well, this is exactly why we fill out the pre-trial order, so that I can see some of the legal issues involved in the case.
Right.
So yeah. And so what I'm going to do is there's a discovery process here, I'm going to set the discovery process out. Let me get a date. So what I'm going to have you do is both fill out a pre-trial sheet that's available on the City of Lansing website and submit it. We'll set a control date in this matter for January. A control date for January 17th at 8:30.
Is that in person, Your Honor?
That control date will be by Zoom, ma'am.
Okay,
So
Zoom. Okay.
what we'll do is I will take a look at the pretrial orders, and then we'll see if there's any more information that needs to be exchanged before we set it for hearing date. All right. This is some discovery process to make sure the court knows the legal issues, and then we'll determine a date that will come in person. You'll bring all your evidence in person, and then, not unlike small claims, only it's been removed to district court, and then you can come in and make your cases, and make sure you bring any evidence that you might have in regards to any communications, any contracts that were entered into concerning the work that was done, things of that nature in January. That will all be a part of the discovery process. I'll make sure that both sides have available to them each party's materials, and then we'll set it for a date to come in for hearing. The hearing would be live because then you'd each have your chance to enter evidence, and both would have your chance to cross-examine any witnesses you might bring in regards to the hearing. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Omar?
No, I do not.
How about yourself, Mr. Crawford? Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
All right. Generally, when it's removed to district court from small claims, it's up to the parties. The parties can seek counsel if they want to. Oftentimes they don't, because it's been removed from small claims where they were guaranteed that there was no counsel. So it's up to you at this point. But I'm going to treat it as if this is a civil case, and so provide discovery to both sides, and I'll await your pretrial orders. All right? All right, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If you have any questions, contact my staff, and they'll help you through the process. All right?
Okay.
All right. Anything else for the record in docket 2202002023? Ms. Omar?
So where do I go to fill out that form? City of Lansing? What form?
The form is a civil pretrial form, and you can download it from the City of Lansing website, the civil division. So it'll be the 54A website, as our court is 54A.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Crawford, do you have any questions of me?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. That's all for the record in docket 22020023. And you're free to, both of you are free to leave the Zoom courtroom.
Okay. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too. And Mr. Mayers, you're here on the Guardian National case, and we're waiting the defendant on that case. All right. So we're getting pretty close to call that case. Let me make some notes in this file. And then Mr. Smith, you're here on the LAFQ file?
Yeah, you bet. The Jackson.
All right. So give me a couple minutes, and then we'll start calling those cases. All right.
Perfect.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. All right, we'll call the record docket 03-04-0465, Guardian National versus Zipporah Everett. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Morning, Your Honor. For the record, my name is Ralph Mayers, P23815, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff. I'm here, Your Honor, to respond to the defendant's objection to tax garnishment, and the defendant has failed to appear, I believe.
Correct. That's my understanding that this is the plaintiff filed an objection to the tax garnishment. This was set for 8:30. It's now 8:50, and it appears that the defendant has failed to appear. Mr. Mayers, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to deny her objections. I believe in the file you will find that I sent in our response citing the MCLA 600.6013 regarding interest. Also, I attached a ledger, and we've supplied all this to the defendant. We've been in touch with her. She's been in denial of the liability of this case. And I would ask the court to deny her objections. I also have a request for the court, if I may proceed, regarding costs.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, there's two defendants on this case. It's a joint and several judgment. And the other defendant, which I believe was a spouse of Zipporah Everett, has worked with us all these years. We've actually renewed it once, Judge Anderson did, because it wasn't paid off. And the defendant, Zipporah, is indicating it was paid. It hasn't been, as if you have the ledger, you can see because of statutory interest, it's grown quite exponentially high.
Right.
In any event, we're working with the other defendant, and he's been very, very cooperative. Rodney Jones, he's been on a payment plan, and he got a little behind, so we rewarded for him. He's been working with us. But Miss Everett, on the other hand, has done nothing but fight us. I'm going to ask the court to understand my argument, indicating that I, from Southfield back in 04, drove to Lansing for a pretrial on March 5th of 04. Her answer and her pretrial summary disposition, which was heard on April 13th, and granted, she didn't even show up for that. So I got a judgment against both now. She filed a motion to set aside that judgment that I obtained on April 13th of 04. On May 4th of 04, Judge Robertson, I'm sorry.
Probably Judge Alderson.
It was Judge Anderson. Yeah, Alderson, I'm sorry. Denied her motion set aside. So this is 3 trips to Lansing, Your Honor. 2 of them, and now today, on her own motion, she doesn't show up. I'm looking at court rule 2.119. B and C, if the moving party doesn't appear for their own motion, the court can assess costs. I never generally ask for costs, but this is getting a little out of hand. I think the defendant is just harassing my client now with all these hearings, and she's never won. We've always been in compliance with all the court rules and statutes, Your Honor, in trying to collect this, and we're willing to work with her. We've told her that, but she's denied liability, so we can't get around any kind of a reasonable payment plan, which we've tried to do. In any event, I feel compelled to ask for costs because of all the time that we've put in her failure to appear that under this court rule I just cited. I believe the court should assess costs. There also is a section in there that she would owe the clerk $100 under the court rule. But as far as costs are concerned, I would again, 2 things: ask the court to deny her objection to garnishment. The judgment has not been paid, and the tax garnishment should go through. And also, I would ask for $1,500 in costs because of her conduct during this case.
Thank you. I will deny the objection to the garnishment as indicated on her motion, which she did not appear for. The costs, at this point in time, I do think costs are in order. $1,500, I don't know. That seems a little steep for today, for today's purposes.
I understand, Your Honor. My client asked me because we've billed her for all this work, and I felt compelled to ask. But whatever the court would assess would be fine.
All right. I believe if you submit an order for costs at 750, I'll sign that along with the any order denying the objection for failure to appear, which is more of a default nature. But I do think that Miss Everett, Miss Zipporah, I should indicate, Miss Zipporah Everett did file the motion and then failed to appear on their own motion, causing everybody to put work into it and then not following up. So I think costs I think the record does support costs in this matter. If you follow up with an order, I'll sign it, Mr. Mayers.
Your Honor, should that be under the 7-day rule?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we'll do it under the 7-day rule, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I'll be sending that in.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayers. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you. Take care, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Smith, you're here on Lafque and Danielle Jackson.
Correct, Your Honor. We had a creditor exam back in, I don't know, 22nd of August, I think it was. She was personally served at the Gray Street address here at that time. She failed to appear. Court, we sent out the show cause order, court mailed it out, exact same address. We know she resides there. She was personally served there. That's where your order to appear today and show cause was served. It's now almost 9 o'clock. This was set for 8:30. I think at this point, we don't really have any choice, unfortunately, but to ask for a bench warrant.
I agree. I agree. So let me call the case and then we'll put it. So this is on the record in docket 1703063. This is Lafque versus Danielle Jackson. Mr. Smith, your appearance for the record.
For plaintiff Lafque, Tim Smith, P48259.
And this was set for 8:30 today. It is now 8:57. And as Mr. Smith indicated previously, this was set for show cause for failure to appear on August 22nd. The defendant was personally served for this date. I have service by mail for motion to show cause, and then the defendant failed to appear after accepting service. So I think at this point, I'm left with no alternative but to issue a bench warrant for defendant for failure to appear. Is that your understanding, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I don't think we have another option. I appreciate that, Your Honor. For bond consideration purposes, the balance today slightly over $6,400.
All right. So I'm going to issue a bench warrant. And I will do, at this point, we'll do a cash bond of $6,400. And then we'll revisit that as it goes. But that's the outstanding balance. Is that correct?
$6,428.20.
All right. Anything else for the record in docket 1703063, Mr. Smith?
Just at one point of clarification, do you want the cash bond and the amount due and owing as of today, which is the $6,428.20, or do you want $6,400 even?
6,400 even is fine. We'll do 6,400 even.
You bet. We'll prepare.
And then you'll follow that up with an order.
Yeah, we'll prepare the bench warrant and submit it to your clerk.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your help, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
You bet.
Ms. Robinson, are you representing Ms. Sharika Shur today?
I am, Your Honor.
Did you need to speak with her in a breakout room at all, or are we ready to go on the record with her? She's
No,
present physically in the courtroom.
okay, I would prefer a breakout room, please.
All right. So, Ms. Shur, I'm going to have you follow my court officer. He's going to put you on an iPad so you can meet with your lawyer on the matter, okay? All right. Once Nathaniel gets her all set up, I'll put you in a breakout room. Ms. Robinson, do you represent Mr. Pruitt today?
I do.
All right, so here's the status of Mr. Pruitt today. He has these 2 files, and then he has 2 more files, 2 more tickets out there that we may try to do a global resolution on.
Okay.
In regards to, he's also got, I mean, he's been in since the 12th, it looks like.
Right.
So the only cog in that wheel is that we don't know if we're going to be able to get him out of his jail cell today.
Okay.
And so, but once we get everything in, I'll have you talk with Miss Hagan Lawrence, and we'll see if we can figure it out.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we can come to a resolution on it if he'll appear. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Did you need to speak with Miss Rishmawi or Hagan Lawrence on Miss Sheard?
No, we're all set. We can go on the record.
All right. So we're on the record in docket 21-02918, City of Lansing versus Sharika O'Sheard. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
City Attorney Aman Shmawi on behalf of the City of Lansing.
And ma'am, you are, oh, go ahead, Miss Robinson. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Erin Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Miss Sheard for today's hearing.
And ma'am, you are Sharika Sheard. Okay. This is the time set for a pre-trial in the matter. Miss Rishmawi, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, my understanding is that we are setting it out for 30 days for compliance purposes.
Okay. Is that your understanding, Ms. Robinson?
It is, Your Honor.
So we'll set it for a second pre-trial. And we'll set it for November 22nd at 9 a.m. So it's set for November 22nd at 9 a.m. Ms. Sheard, you understand you should be back here on November 22nd at 9 a.m. In order to take care of any issues concerning this case. If you have any questions, please keep in contact with your attorney, Erin Robinson from the Public Defender's Office, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else for the record in docket 21-02918, Ms. Rishmawi?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, you're all set, Ms. Sheard. We'll see you back here on November 22nd, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Has to carry to Aki. I'll take Campbell to.
Ms. Sutter, Mr. Johnson's your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we can probably put Mr. Johnson on the record at this point. So I'll call to the record docket 22014448, City of Lansing versus James Darrell Johnson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Amanda Rishmawi, Assistant City Attorney on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Johnson, who I do not believe is present for today's hearing.
All right. This is the time set. This was set for 9. It's now 9:22. It appears that the defendants failed to appear today. Ms. Rishmawi, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, the city will request a bench warrant bond forfeiture with a 48-hour hold for Mr. Johnson.
Any objection to that bench warrant bond forfeiture issued with a 48-hour hold, Ms. Sutter?
No objection.
All right. So that's what we'll do. We'll enter a bench warrant bond forfeiture. We'll put a 48-hour hold on it. Anything else on the record in docket 22014448? Ms. Rishmawi?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, that's all for the record in this file. Sir, on the Samsung cell phone, will you please identify yourself?
Yes, sir. Thomas Holmes.
Okay, Mr. Holmes, you're here for your 9:30?
Yes, sir.
And is your defense attorney Aaron Robinson or?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you need a breakout room with Mr. Holmes?
Yes, please.
All right, Mr. Holmes, I'm going to place you in a breakout room with your public defender, Aaron Robinson, okay?
Okay.
All right. And ma'am, you are Ms. Hernandez?
Yes,
You're here for your 9:30?
yes,
Who is your, what's that? Okay, and your public defender is Ms. Robinson?
yes.
All right, when she's out of a breakout room, I'll place you in a breakout room with her if necessary, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Did I do that right?
You're all set, Mr. Holmes. Give us 1 second.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir.
Okay.
You did that right.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Robinson, you ready to go on the record on Mr. Holmes?
We are.
All right. So we're on the record in docket 22 L27127771, the City of Lansing versus Thomas Holmes. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Amanda Ishmael on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Karen Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Holmes.
And sir, you are Thomas Holmes?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. This is the second pretrial. How are we proceeding, Ms. Rishmawi?
Your Honor, my understanding is that Mr. Holmes will be accepting responsibility for the failure to display ops.
And is that your understanding, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, at this time, we would like to set the case for either a plea hearing about 2 to 3 weeks out or for a trial date if we can't do the plea hearing.
I don't have any problem setting it for this is the misdemeanor, so it'd be set for plea hearing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it's all right. So the offer on the table right now is the fail to display, right?
The offer right now is to plea as charged.
Okay.
With no upfront jail. So that's what the offer is.
Okay. All right. All right. So any objection to the request for to set for a plea hearing date?
No, Your Honor. No
All right.
objections.
So we'll set it for a plea hearing date on November 15th at 9. So it's set for plea on November 15th at 9 a.m. Mr. Holmes, you understand to keep in contact with your attorney, Aaron Robinson, in regard to this file, and we've set it for plea on November 15th at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else for the record in docket 22 L27127771, Ms. Rishmawi?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. This is set for November 15th. We'll see you then, Mr. Holmes. Have a nice day. You're free to leave the Zoom courtroom.
Can I talk to my attorney for 1 second?
You can give me a call, Mr. Holmes, and we can talk about whatever we need to talk about, but today is not the day to really go into the facts of the case, okay?
Okay.
All right. So just keep in contact with Ms. Robinson. All right, Mr. Holmes?
Okay, thank you. Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And then, Ms. Robinson, did you need to meet with Ms. Hernandez in a breakout room?
Yes, please.
All right. Ms. Hernandez, I'm going to place you and Ms. Robinson in a breakout room, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
She's the attorney, right? She sent something in the mail.
She sent me something in the mail.
Ms. Robinson, are you ready to go forward on Ms. Hernandez?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
And then we'll talk about Mr. Pruitt after that. Mr.
Great.
Pruitt, yeah. So we're on the record in dockets 22L27, I'm sorry, 22L274, 8752 and 8751. City of Lansing versus, I'm sorry, 22L274, 8752 and 51. City of Lansing versus Feliciana Hernandez. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Amanda Ismawi, Assistant City Attorney on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Ms. Hernandez.
And ma'am, you are Feliciana Hernandez?
Yes.
All right. And you can hear me all right, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial. This is the second pretrial in the matter. Ms. Rishmawi, what's your understanding of how we're proceeding?
My understanding, Your Honor, that we are setting it out for a plea date in 3 weeks to reach a resolution.
Ms. Robinson, is that your understanding? We're going to set up a plea hearing?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to we'll set it for plea hearing. November 15th at 9 a.m. So Ms. Hernandez, you should be back in court for plea hearing date, and that date's been set for November 15th at 9 a.m. If you have any questions, please keep in contact with your attorney, Aaron Robinson. All right, ma'am?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else for the record from the city in dockets 274, 8752 and 8751?
Oh, Your Honor,
All
thank
right.
you.
Anything else, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, we're all set. Feel free to leave the Zoom courtroom, Ms. Hernandez.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going to go ahead and call Mr. Pruitt's two files. He's not leaving his cell. I think he's probably and I don't know if they're able to communicate with him at this point.
I gave him a message.
Yeah. So the real question is he failed to appear for purposes of the hearing when he's in his cell, but he's not here. I'm not certain about that, but I'll listen to both sides on it. He's been in since October 12th, Ms. Robinson, just for your record. So
I understand.
So he's PR. What's that?
I said I understand.
Yeah, and he's PR'd. It's got to be, let's see, 12.2. He'll be PR'd on November 2nd under the 21-day rule. But I'll go ahead and call those cases for the record. So we're on the record in dockets 22-02490 and 22-02739. People of the state of Michigan versus Edric S. Pruitt. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Pruitt.
All right, this was set for 9 o'clock. It is now 9:46. And my understanding from the jail is that Mr. Pruitt is not leaving his cell in order to come to the pretrials. We also had a couple of pending matters that we wanted to address, but he is not present at 9:46. He's been offered the opportunity to be present by the jail, and he refuses to show. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, at this point, the city would defer to whatever this court decides is appropriate. As you indicated already, he has had the opportunity to appear. He is choosing not to appear. Although he is in the jail, he's not coming out of his cell. So we would defer to whatever this court deems is appropriate. I would note that he's currently being held on these two files under the 21-day rule, but he's also being held on a file out of 55th District Court. And so I'm not sure what the terms of his potential release on that.
All right, thank you. Ms. Robinson, any comment? And I'm not sure if you know what his status is on the 55th District Court case.
So from what I'm seeing is that he's being held on a bond there that obviously he can't post, but I think they're subject to the 21-day rule as well. So I would actually just ask the court to set it for next week if we can on the 1st. If we're able to do that, I will make attempts to go and speak with him again. I mean, frankly, Your Honor, I don't think a warrant is really going to be in the best interest of the court or Mr. Pruitt at this point in time, for the fact that he's already in custody. He's not, I mean, a warrant is really for the purposes of apprehending someone where we don't know of their whereabouts. So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
You know, he does pose an interesting case here. Because he's here and I don't have to worry about him failing to appear, although he's failing to appear. But that's because we know where he is. I don't have any, if you have a chance to talk to him and explain this to him, which I think he would be amenable, I don't have a problem adjourning it to next week.
Yeah, that should be fine. And then I'll make sure that he's aware. I spoke with Ms. Hagan Lawrence, and we've kind of agreed that we would kill Brew to a time served sentence. And usually when we tell him that, he appears in court. Right. So I will try to meet with him before that date to make sure that that gets relayed to him. So we know.
All right. Let me check the schedule for next week. So it's.
Yeah, homicide next week.
Okay, but the homicide, you never get started on time. Yeah, I mean, never. So 8:30. Yeah. Because we'll be here till 9:30 waiting for them to get started on the homicide. So let's set this for a week from today on November
1st.
November 1st. Wow, November 1st. Holy cow. November 1st, 2022 at 8:30.
Do you want me to set them off for then? I don't know.
Just the two that we have. Yeah, just our two. And then we can figure out what to do on the other two at the time.
Yeah, just for the record, the city will hang on to these nollies, and if we are able to reach a global resolution, we can sign them at that time.
All right. So the city's hanging on to the nollies on the two pending files. We'll set it for November 1st of 2022. We have a homicide that morning, but it's been my experience that homicides don't get started on time. We should have plenty of time to work this case through.
Yeah, I don't expect it to take very long.
All right, so that's all for the record in docket 2202-490 and 2202-739. Anything else, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Robinson. That's it. We'll see everybody next week on that file. And then we can do Mr. Word. Is that your client, Ms. Robinson?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, so let's go on the record in docket 21-00418. That's City of Lansing versus David Word. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Amanda Rishmawi, Assistant City Attorney on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Erin Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Word.
Okay, and Mr. Word, this was scheduled for pretrial at 9:30 today. and it is now 9:51. It appears that Mr. Word has failed to appear on the driving while license suspended pretrial. Ms. Rishmawi, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, this is the second time that Mr. Ward has failed to appear in this court, and we are requesting a bench warrant.
Ms. Robinson?
I'm not sure if this is I think this is only the first.
Oh, I have him failed to appear at arraignment. Yep, I was looking the same, but yep, I've got him.
Okay.
He was set for arraignment and he failed to appear at arraignment. So this would be this is technically the second failed to appear.
Then, Your Honor, I mean, I would still ask for a 48-hour hold in this point, but I understand.
Right. With the second failed to appear, I'll issue a bench warrant and bond forfeiture for Mr. Ward. For this because of the prior. And then once we catch up with Mr. Ward, it appears that this was the second pretrial for compliance purposes. So, all right. Anything else for the record on docket 21-00418 from the city?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. That's all for the record in that file. And I think that cleans up the morning, Ms. Robinson. I don't know if you're under either Mr. Lowe or Mr. McNeely this afternoon for sentencing.
Those will be Miss Sutter.
All right, Aaron. Thanks a lot for your help.
Of course, no problem. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. No, I think it's a 10:30. I just show up when the state comes in at 10:30.
Oh,
It's a DV case.
got it. Okay.
Pretty sure.
That's fine.
I appreciate it. I make it easy for you, right?
Yeah.
How are you,
Robert,
Mr.
good
Zane?
morning. You're looking good, man. I like it. You got something in the water. Your complexion.
Yeah.
I tell you what. How's things going for you, Judge?
It's going well. Thank you.
Good. Glad to hear.
It's better now with the city since I think that's the cases for the morning, right?
Simmons, I just wanted to trick you and say what's up.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Are you in trial?
No.
Because Judge Simmons has a trial
I have a
today.
pre-trial today.
Okay. All right.
Where does the state hang out these days?
What's that?
State prosecutor, where do they hang out? At least I saw that.
Yeah, it might be in that room.
Okay.
I don't, but they've got an intern. It's Randy Behrman who's covering over there.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you.
All right.
Take care. Nice
We'll
seeing
see
you.
Just a housekeeping matter. I
Okay.
am on vacation next week.